and the name of the city will be returned to the name used by Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, whether you like it or whether you don't. Now then, a sad story. And that is that Turkey appears to be preparing to reopen Hagia Sophia as a masjid. And if Turkey were to do that, the government were to do it, and a large number of the people were to support the government in doing it, then I want to say to them that it would be even more shameful, even more disgraceful, and even more sinful than what the Ottoman Empire did in 1452, when they conquered Constantinople in violation of Allah's law in the Quran, which prohibits you from fighting against the people who want peace. But the sheep and the cattle don't understand that, and they will never understand that when they claim that they are correct. So I don't have time, sorry, for sheep and for cattle. I have time for people who can think and who want to be faithful to the Book of Allah, which prohibits you from fighting against someone who wants peace. The Ottoman Empire did not heed the cry, the call, the appeal of the Orthodox Christian patriarch of Constantinople, who wanted peace. He did not want war. They took the Quran and they put it aside and they waged their bogus jihad, but the sheep and cattle do not understand that and will never understand that, so leave them alone. I'm sorry I have to keep on repeating and repeating and repeating, because the overwhelming majority today I find amongst me are sheep and cattle. That's right. So the Dajjal tells them, you have to put on a face mask to go in the masjid. And all of them put on the face mask and go in the masjid. I don't have time for you. If you are convinced that you are correct in what you have done, then go your way and leave me alone. I will never put on a face mask to go in the house of Allah in violation of the Sunnah. The sheep and the cattle will go into the masjid to perform salat, and they will stand 3 feet apart or 2 feet apart or whatever it is. I don't have time for sheep and cattle who are convinced that what they have done is correct. Go your way and leave me alone. I don't need you. And they will perform their Salatul Eid in their sitting room, and they are convinced that they are correct, the sheep and the cattle. I don't have time for sheep and cattle. So go your way for the last time and leave me alone. Is that asking too much of you? But for those who recognize, yes, what the Sheikh is saying is correct, and we are wrong. That conquest of Constantinople was in violation of Allah's law, to fight against the people who wanted peace. And so that was haram. Taking the greatest cathedral of the Christian world, the Orthodox Christian world, hearts will never depart from that building. Never, never, never. And you take that cathedral and you can transform it into a masjid in manifest violation of Allah's command in the Quran, commanding you to fight to protect the cathedral, and you transform it to a masjid. The sheep and the cattle cannot understand that that was haram and sinful and shameful and disgraceful. And they will never understand that. But you who now understand, yes, the Sheikh is right. This was a bogus jihad. And this is not the way to perform Salatul Eid. And this is not the way to perform Salatul Jummah 3 feet apart and with a face mask. for you, alhamdulillah, I have time for you, and I will answer all the questions you have, and I'll always, always pray that Allah may guide you on the right path, because your heart is not blocked like theirs, and you have a thirst for truth. And you're prepared to accept that I was mistaken. MashaAllah, I make mistakes. Yes, and when I make a mistake, and I realize I made a mistake, I hurry to correct myself. For such people, may Allah bless you. I am here to teach you. And so for those who are convinced that Hagia Sophia should be converted to a masjid, and who join with the Turkish government and people now in converting Hagia Sophia once again to a masjid, I say shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. I don't want to see your faces. Go your way. Now when you convert Hagia Sophia to a masjid, now we know that the prophecy of Nabi Muhammad ﷺ is absolutely certain to be fulfilled. What was that prophecy? He prophesied that a Muslim army will conquer Constantinople. That's what he did. And I wrote this book. Here it is. Show it to the Turkish government and the Turkish people. Let them read this book. Constantinople in the Quran. Siddiq, can we get a blow-up of this? Constantinople in the Quran. If you read this book, they will be able to understand what does the Quran have to say about Constantinople. There is a Muslim army coming that will conquer Constantinople. The reason why there is this end time conquest of Constantinople in Akhir Zaman, the reason why is because when we conquer Constantinople, we have to fight against you. You are the ones who are transforming it into a masjid once again. We will fight you, and we will defeat you. And when we defeat you, remember that, when we defeat you, because this is prophesied by the Prophet ﷺ, we will then return Hagia Sophia to our Christian brothers and sisters. I am sending this message to Russia. I'm sending this message to Orthodox Christians wherever you are in the world. And many of you are now writing to me, and I thank you for your transform the masjid, the Hagia Sophia to a masjid. Don't do that. Leave it to us. We will take up the arms. We will conquer Constantinople. This is prophesied by Prophet Muhammad. Allah's blessings be upon him. And when we conquer Constantinople, they can't stop it. Tell them, get lost. You cannot stop it, because it is prophesied by the Prophet ﷺ. We return Constantinople to we return Hagia Sophia to the Orthodox Christian world. And we'll apologize to you. And the name of the city will be returned to the name used by Nabi Muhammad ﷺ, whether you like it or whether you don't, whether it's a bone in your throat or not. The name of the city will once again be Constantinople, and you cannot stop it.